आपके फाइनेंशियल कैलकुलेटर से वो फायर नंबर पता चल जाएगा.
Rather than I creating wealth and distributing it, why not help people themselves create wealth by being more prudent in their personal finances?
How do you perceive financial freedom, and what is the difference between financial fear versus financial freedom?
Fear could be based on your historical conditioning, saving just 2 lakhs.
Yeah.
Now, if they cut down the discretionary expenditure even by 2 lakhs, their savings doubled.
Correct.
Right now, the 2 lakhs, however well it is invested, the savings, it will never earn another 2 lakhs. The definition of wealth had changed for me. It had evolved because wealth for me earlier, maybe as I was growing up, was more about power. Complex में रह रहे हैं, गाड़ी है, basic बच्चे decent school में जा रहे हैं. Enjoy life means what?
No, assuming that I don't have to work. If I don't have to work for money, then what?
No, you don't have to work for money. But see, when people say enjoy life, what will you do? Like, okay, you will go to travel the world. How much?
Okay, invest भी कर लेंगे. Investment तो फिर भी next step है. But how much am I saving? How do I know it?
Maximum cases में मैंने जो देखा है वो यही है कि लोगों का financial planning और investment asset allocation जो है वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा हिला हुआ होता है. उसके बाद भी मैं ये नहीं कह सकता कि अगर मैं समय नहीं दूँ तो भी मैं आउटकम ले आऊँगा. इतना सब कुछ होने के बाद भी आज भी मुझे टाइम देना है.
SIP से ये financial freedom achieve की जा सकती है.
ये चीज़ समझना बहुत जरूरी है कि इक्विटी मार्केट जो हैं वो एक लीनियर वे में नहीं चलते. दे आर नॉन लीनियर.
For this person, if they want to retire at 45, so how much money do they need?
The corpus required today would be roughly around.
Okay.
तो वो रिटायर हो सकते हैं.
It is also telling me that with the current saving pattern, how much money will I actually have at that age? क्या आपको exactly पता है कि आप किस एज पे रिटायर कर सकते हो with financial freedom? Do you even know how much money you need to become financially free? Do you often wonder कि आपके पास enough savings है भी कि नहीं to lead a good financial future? Yet every time your salary kicks in, you feel that sinking feeling because you know कि it is going to disappear into bills, expenses and EMIs in no time. Does money give you anxiety or does it give you freedom? Do you know, globally, 60% of people feel insecure about their own financial future. India, maybe 3 out of 4 Indians feel that they're not confident about how to manage their money. Good news, that anybody can reset their financial life. And that is exactly why I'm very excited about today's conversation. Because today we are going to discuss about how to achieve financial freedom as soon as possible, how to reset your financial life and secure your financial future. Joining me today at the Quiet Reset podcast is Mr. Vikas Jain, who is an expert into finance and investment management, and he has worked in this field for over 2 decades, helping countless number of people achieve financial freedom and financial security. Today, he is not only going to share practical tips and insights about how to achieve financial freedom and financial security, but also sharing a financial calculator which anybody can use. Hi Vikas, thank you.
Hi Nimisha.
Thank you for joining me for the Quiet Reset podcast.
Thank you for inviting me.
So today we will speak about financial reset.
Sure.
And I want to deep dive into the money mindset, especially for Indians.
Sure.
And I hope that through this conversation, we are able to help a lot of younger people figure out their money reset and figure out, how to use the money in the right way. And that is the overall objective.
Sure.
So firstly, if you could just tell me about your own journey of how, what you are up to right now and how did you reach this stage? We'll keep it brief, but yes.
Yeah. Back when I was in school, I was good at numbers. I didn't want to study science. So CA became a natural choice because that was one of the booming careers at that time apart from engineering. And once I joined CA, joined BCom, did CA, also got to know that I can crack CAT easily. So went on to do MBA. Audit was something that was not of my interest, audit and taxation. Ended up in IIM. Equities was something which I was already getting interested into because when I was about 20, my father asked me to just track some of his stocks, and that's where the journey started. And when I went to campus, having studied a lot in CA, I was very clear that I don't want to study much, and I started running a mutual fund there apart from many other extracurricular activities which I was doing, and that is where the interest developed even further. Equity research at Goldman was a natural choice. And then within a couple of years, I realized that, while I like research, this is not something I want to do lifelong. And also I always wanted to do something on my own. And like, about 7 years at Goldman, I had some financial security. I thought, okay, now, I can get onto my own path. Didn't really know what exactly I would do, but one thing which I did was did a basic calculation, a rudimentary Excel, wherein I figured out that, okay, I had enough to sustain myself for a foreseeable future, and money is not something now I have to worry about. What I was more interested in doing, what I really want to do, what I love doing, and that was a process of discovery for the next 2 years, wherein I figured out, it's not just about research, but it's much more beyond that, including understanding markets overall, how do they function, macro, flows, sentiments, built a model to value markets, and then also got deeper interest in personal finance, because when I completed CFA level 3, there's a lot of focus on an individual's personal finance, which helped me restructure my own personal finances and also widened my interest. I started reading a lot more about personal finance in general, and then I started advising a few batchmates. Realized that while it was a good opportunity to build that further, but I was still going to serve the 1% who are being chased by everyone. So how do I take advice, good quality advice, to masses? And that is how got to the thought of using technology to provide advice to masses. Got together with my co-founders, started working on that idea. Of course, it evolved into something very different, still maintaining the core in terms of helping people with their personal finance, but not just with investments, but with overall personal finance. Even there, spending and saving also, in addition to investing. And so yeah, spend investing is what we call, what we are doing at Multiple, and that is where I am today in terms of the journey. But yeah, I mean, happy to share more based on what you would love to know.
Yeah. So I'm more interested in your personal journey. So how did you figure out, like, at what? Okay, you're saying 7 years into the job, so probably you were 30.
I was 34 when I quit. Yeah.
Okay. So what did you think? Okay, how much money was needed? Like, just take me through that, maybe.
So see, more than the specific number, it was about whether I can meet my expenses, and for how long can I meet those expenses without working. If I just invested them in a prudent manner, again, not trying to bake in some extraordinary returns, but a nominal returns of say about 15%, which is what Indian equities have given, and which is what I thought I would be able to generate based on my understanding, my background, and the time that I would devote to doing that. So based on that, I figured out that yes, I have sufficient enough money to get onto my own path.
Okay.
Because when I quit Goldman, it was more about financial security, more about financial freedom than what it was, say, maybe 10 years before that. The definition of wealth had changed for me. It had evolved, because wealth for me earlier, maybe as I was growing up, was more about power. That okay, the more you have, the more powerful you are. And also there is a bit of a family background in terms of we were very well to do during my great grandfather's time. Then there was a lot of financial downturn in the family, and then things started picking up again and started normalizing again. So all of those things kind of had that dimension etched in my mind, that okay, if you have wealth, you are in a good shape, you are powerful, and more of it is only better. But then I realized it is not about that. It is more about having the freedom to do what I can do. And while wealth can give you power, which of course you can use for good or bad, good as well. So there are people who are wealthy who do a lot of philanthropy, they do have an impact. But I thought, why not do something where the impact could be not by just giving money, but by helping people do better in terms of making them empowered. So rather than I creating wealth and distributing it, why not help people themselves create wealth by being more prudent in their personal finances? So that was the evolution of the whole thought process about wealth.
I was about to ask this question, that how do you perceive financial freedom, and what is the difference between financial fear versus financial freedom?
So when we talk about financial freedom, it is the ability to do what you want to do. It can be something which is highly monetarily rewarding. It may or may not be, depending on what you want to do. But still, it is something which you are enjoying, which you love to do, which doesn't create any stress, even if you are doing it for 18 hours a day. And many a times, it may be monetarily rewarding as well. When it comes to financial fear, I think fear comes more from not knowing, lack of awareness or information, and also from not having the discipline, wherein you don't have set rules about how you deal with money, right? You're just doing it in an ad hoc manner based on impulse. So that creates fear, because often, it could be manifested in different ways. I mean, the fear could be based on your historical conditioning, uh, yours, your family's, and wherein you think, okay, however much you have, it will not be enough. Or it could also be, based on the fact that, okay, you are always trying to just curtail, because you think you just want to save. So while you are not thinking about earning more, but you are just wanting to, curtail your expenditure to the extent possible, even if that means you are depriving yourself of some of the things which you want, and you want inherently, not because the rest of the world has, right? It is something which you probably yourself enjoy. Like, say for example, travel, right? I enjoy travel, and maybe I would have done more of it earlier in life, if I was not thinking about saving too much, which was again driven out of the fear, which was based on, again, my conditioning, dependent on my family's financial history.
So you wanted a certain amount of wealth, and that's why you
Yeah.
thought, okay, saving is perhaps the best way. Initially,
Right.
that was the
Initially.
mindset change that happened.
Yeah.
Like, it's been proven now that the current generation, Gen Zs, are probably going to be a very poor generation, because bloomers have learned how to manage their money, and they've made good money because of whatever economic conditions were happening globally. But Gen Z, they are, even though prima facie the income is increasing, but their spending habit and consumption habits are also
Yeah.
drastically different than our forefathers, right? So if we have to address them, and we have to talk about how should one think about saving, right? I think that is one very important aspect, because nobody wants to compromise on their lifestyle. Nobody wants to say that, hey, I don't want what I want, right? But then what is this saving first mindset, and is it even a good mindset to have? Because ऐसे बोलते थे ना कि दादाजी लोगों के ज़माने में it was like पहले सेव कर लो, उसके बाद तुम खर्चा करो, या फिर there is this one idiom that अपने पैर उतने ही पसारो जितनी लंबी चादर है, right?
Right,
But that is completely changing today, like the way
Right.
people are thinking. So
Right. So, what I think is a balanced approach is what is needed. ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ सेव 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 करते रहो. Of course, one has to enjoy life, because, as I said, there are wants which are inherent, which are not necessarily driven by external factors, and you would want to fulfill those, because those probably help you grow as a person.
okay,
Like, say for example, travel I was talking about,
Yeah.
right? When I'm traveling, I'm trying to learn more about the cultures, the people there, right? How they are doing things differently. So that is helping me grow as a person. So now, would I want to, when I know that, okay, I can do without travel and I should just save money, I would probably have been doing that earlier, just to save money. But as I realized that that is something I inherently want, not by, because anyone is influencing me to do that, then I would want to actually do that. But does that mean that, I should just not think at all about my financial situation and, just go berserk? Of course not. So somewhere one has to strike the balance. And I wouldn't completely agree that maybe the Gen Z are not able to do it, but it's not that they are not aware.
correct.
They are aware, because they have access to information a lot more than we ever had or our parents had.
Absolutely.
And so they are aware of the various aspects, just that practically maybe they are not able to do because of the influences around them, because the pull for them to spend is so much more, in terms of whether it is the brands inducing them to spend through marketing, celebrity endorsements or whatever, or whether it is the influence of the peer group, which is pushing them to spend more. But that doesn't mean that they don't know that
They should be
they should be
saving money.
saving. They know that they should be saving. They are not able to today.
Correct.
What is one way to think about it is the mindset which they need to develop is the mindset to plan, save, invest, and spend. And of course, how does one do that? Saying it is very easy, and they might understand also logically, rationally, but then they might not be able to do because of all these pulls which are there.
Correct. So usually people think of saving, investing, and spending as three different buckets, or at least saving and spending as two different buckets, wherein, hey, I will save this much money, but I also want to enjoy life, so I will spend this much money. And when it comes to the spending, don't tell me that, okay, I can't spend it today because I want to spend it when I want to spend it, right? And that's the impulsive behavior, instant gratification. I mean, we worked on it so much just to understand that. One of the important, like, why I even wanted to have this conversation was that when we are talking about a lot of physical reset or mental reset, which I'm trying to create from my brand, but unless you really have the financial security, people are not in that space only to have that, mental wellness, because finance plays a very, very important role.
Yes, of course.
So, and more so with the current generation, people are finding themselves to be more vulnerable to, as you said, a lot of triggers, and they're also reacting to it in a very different way. So how do we make people more financially robust? So you're saying plan, save, spend, invest, and spend. But is there a way to change this psychologically? Like, how do I, get into this mindset in the first place? Like, what should I do today?
So, see, first thing is, of course, awareness about your needs, wants, and then to understand what is driving those, right? Is it, you know, uh, as I said, the influence of the peer group? Is it the need to have that status, symbol? Or is it something which you inherently want, you inherently enjoy, right? Once you are aware that, okay, this is something I inherently enjoy and I want to spend, of course, you should figure out what is the best way to do it in terms of how to save well for that and how to spend well in terms of getting the best deal for that spend. The other factor, of course, is like, say, somebody enjoys traveling, they want to travel the world. Obviously, you will need a certain amount of saving and investing to be done to meet those travel spend requirements.
Yeah.
So then comes in the angle of also income, right? Can you increase your income by upskilling yourself, right? By maybe doing a higher education. So there are different aspects which you have to kind of look at together and bring a balance in between them in terms of either increasing the income through increasing your capabilities, also figuring out what are the wants which you can do away with, which are not inherent to you but just driven by the world around you. And then once you've done this, then how to save well by getting the right advice or by yourself understanding how well you can invest, right? Now this is one thing which people should probably let go, is the the control or bit of control. I'm not saying don't have any control, but let go bit of control, let go bit of overconfidence that you can do everything. Most of the times people think that, okay, we can invest, we can figure out. Yes, you can. It's not rocket science, but are you devoting the time required to figure that out? Maybe somebody could have become a doctor if they would have studied medicine, but they have not. So that's why they are not a doctor, they're going to a doctor. This is something similar, right? Wherein if you're not devoting the time and energy, the bandwidth, then how do you expect the outcomes, right? Which will help you generate that wealth, which will help you to sustain your lifestyle or wants. So something which maybe I would have done when, say, I had started my career, based on what I know today, and I'm not saying because I am an advisor or we are an advisor as a company, but I'm saying because it would have made a world of difference, right? Instead of keeping a lot of my savings in fixed income instruments, I would have probably had a greater allocation to equities, right? If there was an advisor who would be able, even if I had the knowledge, I didn't have the, the time or the bandwidth or even the initial capital, right? I didn't have enough capital
Yeah.
to use this knowledge to build on that.
Yeah.
So first, of course, I had to accumulate capital by doing some activity based on my earlier education and efforts which I had put in. And then, if at that point of time, if I was not having the adequate capital to do something of the kind of being a full-time investor, but I was earning well and saving well, and I didn't have the time and bandwidth because it was a hectic career,
Yeah.
which is the case for most of the
Most
people.
people, yeah.
They are busy with their careers, they are busy with family. Then what you need to do is you need to figure out the right person from whom you can take advice. Now, it could be a professional, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, but somebody who has the knowledge, who has put in the time and effort to understand. Because if I had an advisor back then, he would have helped me in better asset allocation. He would have helped me, he or she would have helped me in monitoring and rebalancing, the portfolio. Maybe I would not have invested in some, products which were not at all suitable for me or required for me. Products which were like very low yield products, which didn't really help. I was having an adequate insurance. Maybe I would have had a better insurance, term insurance, instead of the endowment policies which I was buying just from a family friendly agent.
Yeah.
So a lot of things could have been different, and that itself could have probably, so what I did later, say after 7 years, maybe I could have achieved after 5 years or 4 years if I was doing it the right way. So investing in the right way, in the right instruments, the right asset allocation, and then the right selection of the investments, the securities, is definitely going to be important to decide whether somebody can be financially free at 35 or 37 or 40.
Okay.
So that is one part, and the other part is of course the spending part of it, wherein if you are able to figure out and reallocate to where you really want and where you don't want, that also can help you. Because if you are able to save, even say cut down your discretionary expenditure by 10 or 20%, say somebody who is earning 20 lakhs today, and they are spending 10 lakhs on discretionary, or maybe essentials, and 8 lakhs on discretionary, and saving just 2 lakhs.
Yeah.
Now if they cut down the discretionary expenditure even by 2 lakhs, their savings doubled.
Correct.
Right? Now the 2 lakhs, however well it is invested, the savings, it will never earn another 2 lakhs.
Correct.
In a short span of time, right? It will take some time. But here, by cutting down the unnecessary spend, you're adding immediately 2 lakhs, right? So the return is kind of 100% to what you were saving. So these are a few things which practically have to be done, and again, it's not easy.
What is your advised amount? Like, at what point should I involve an advisor which is one-on-one?
So, see, and sooner the better.
But does it make sense for a smaller corpus?
See, because it is also see, small is a very relative word, right? For somebody, 10 lakhs might be big. For somebody, 10 crores also might be small. So it's not about the quantum, it's more about the habit. It's more about the process. Getting started into that, journey, getting started on that path wherein you are looking at things holistically rather than just getting swayed by, the noise or the world around you. So sooner you get the better. Of course, it is difficult क्योंकि 10 लाख 20 लाख के लिए शायद कोई एडवाइज़र अच्छा नहीं मिले. एडवाइजर्स वैसे इंडिया में बहुत कम है, और कोई भी अच्छा एडवाइज़र होगा उसको एक मिनिमम टिकट साइज चाहिए होगा कम से कम 25-50 लाख का.
करेक्ट.
टू फॉर इट टू बी फ्रूटफुल फॉर द एडवाइज़र ऑल्सो. तो उस हिसाब से एडवाइज़र मिलना मुश्किल हो सकता है, लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आपको प्रयत्न नहीं करना एडवाइज़र ढूंढने का.
Okay.
अगर आप अच्छा एडवाइज़र ढूंढ सकते हो to advise you for a smaller amount also, then you should find. And again, as I said, that is where platforms like ours come in, wherein by using technology we are making it feasible. Of course, it is not one-on-one, but still
The essence is the same.
The essence is the same, and maybe at some point of time we might have premium plans wherein people with say a 5-10 lakh corpus can get some access
Got it.
to an investment advisor, to a qualified investment advisor.
Got it. So far what I've gathered is, one is the growth mindset versus just getting influenced by status. I think that's the first important mindset change. Second is whatever you can cut down in your discretionary spends, or any means to increase your savings. So it could be by increasing your income or by cutting down on certain expenses which are not needed. That's second. Third is, as we spoke,
I mean, not just not needed, maybe not even wanted
not
inherently.
even wanted.
You're just doing it because somebody is pushing
Influence.
you to do it.
Got it. And I think that is the bigger issue today, because a lot of triggers are there. So when somebody talks about a financial reset, like I speak to a lot of people, and people are like, मतलब अपना अच्छा job है, I'm earning well, I'm saving some amount of money. Most people do not know if that money is, good enough for them. Like how much should they save is not a very known concept, because save तो कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, invest भी कर लेंगे, investment तो फिर भी next step है, but how much am I saving? How do I know if it is the right amount for me or not?
Right. So not just that, I think there are three things. How much, what is my current financial situation? A lot of times people don't even know that.
Correct. Yes.
Because they would have invested in 100 different things.
Yes.
They don't even know how those, instruments are performing. What is the return? What is the current value? Many times people forget also that out of 120, they might have forgotten also that they had actually put money. So that is first thing. Second thing is how much is needed, right? Where do they really want to get to? Again, majority of the people don't know that. And the third thing is, even if some people know the second, they don't know how to get there.
Correct.
So for all of these things, again, we have built a calculator. We call it Financial Freedom Calculator, which helps you understand all of and answer all of these questions. Right? That where do you stand today? Because that is the first part of the exercise. Knowing what you have, what is the current value of the investments that you made, what is the total corpus or net worth you have today. Second step is how much you want based on your goals, based on your risk profile, based on the time horizon of your goals, based on the other investment objectives and constraints that might be there. All of those are factored in to figure out how much you really need. And then the third part, wherein you really need the help of right advisor, as to how you get there, because it's not just about creating one plan. It's about the journey. How do you navigate through all the ups and downs and actually end up getting where you want to get to?
Okay.
So this is something we have built again.
तो ये क्या है कैलकुलेटर? मतलब
कैलकुलेटर जो है एक
कहाँ है
ये एक हमने एक्सेल वर्जन इसका पूरा बनाया है डिटेल्ड. मतलब इसका जेनेसिस जो है वो मेरे इनिशियल वर्किंग में है. कि जहाँ पे जब मैं गोल्डमैन क्विट कर रहा था तो मुझे जानना था कि क्या मेरे पास फाइनेंशियल सिक्योरिटी है कि नहीं है.
राइट.
और उस चीज़ के लिए मैंने ये एक्सेल बनाया था. उसको हमारी टीम ने फर्दर रिफाइन करके एक डिटेल्ड कैलकुलेटर बनाया है.
ओके. सो इट्स जस्ट एन एक्सेल शीट जो कोई भी एक्सेस कर सकता है.
हाँ, तो हम शेयर करेंगे वो एक्सेल शीट जो. तो
लेट्स डू वन थिंग. हाँ, एक बार we will maybe you and I can just go through that Excel sheet. Can we do that now?
Yes, we can do it.
Okay.
एक चीज़ खाली मैं बस बोलना चाहूँगा कि ये जो कैलकुलेटर है, this is not going to give a perfect answer.
Of course, yeah.
Because things are dynamic. चीज़ें बदलते रहेगी और उसके हिसाब से हमें उसको रीवैल्यूएट भी करते रहना पड़ेगा.
Right.
लेकिन इससे क्या हमें पता चलता है, हमें एक दिशा मिलती है कि हमें किस दिशा में बढ़ना है. हम किस तरह जो हमारा डेस्टिनेशन है, हम कैसे पहुंच सकते हैं उसको एक बेस्ट पॉसिबल मैनर में.
ओके. हाँ, we will do that. तो एक उसके पहले एक क्वेश्चन. आई थिंक अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल get confused about their FIRE number, and this is a trend. FIRE, everybody wants to retire early.
Right.
So आपके financial calculator से वो FIRE number पता चल जाएगा?
हाँ बिल्कुल, पता चल सकता है.
Okay.
एंड अगेन वही मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि पीपल शुड नॉट गेट फिक्सेटेड टू अ नंबर. एक रेंज पकड़ के चलना चाहिए, क्योंकि चीज़ें बदल सकती हैं. आपके फ्यूचर इनकम पॉसिबिलिटीज़ हो सकता है आपको पता ही नहीं है, लेकिन कल आप बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हो बेस्ड ऑन डेवलपमेंट्स विच हैपन. अदर वे भी हो सकता है. फिर इन्वेस्टमेंट रिटर्न्स भी जो हैं वो भी फ्लक्चुएट हो सकते हैं. तो इसलिए एक रेंज लेके चलना ज़्यादा सही रहेगा. उसमें फिर हाँ, आपको जो एक आपके कंफर्ट लेवल के हिसाब से आप डिसाइड कर सकते हो कि ठीक है, इस रेंज में मुझे कहाँ तक पहुँचना है.
Okay.
तो मान लीजिए किसी को आज जो मेट्रो सिटी में कोई रह रहे हैं लोग, जो से 30s में अपने हैं, अर्ली 30s में 30s में, से विद अ family of 3 or 4 people, right, 1 or 2 children. Maybe the range could be somewhere between the corpus which they will need today. वो हो सकता है कि एक 6 से 8 करोड़ का जो अमाउंट है वो सफिशिएंट हो
Okay.
फॉर अ लार्ज नंबर ऑफ पीपल. अगेन एज आई सेड, हर आदमी के
Vary
लिए वो अलग
करेगा.
करेगा, लेकिन फॉर अ लार्ज नंबर ऑफ पीपल इन जिनका एक डिसेंट वेल टू डू लाइफ है, एक डिसेंट कॉम्प्लेक्स में रह रहे हैं, गाड़ी है, बेसिक बच्चे डिसेंट स्कूल में जा रहे हैं, तो वो एक उसके लिए एक 6 to 8 करोड़ का नंबर वुड बी लार्जली सफिशिएंट. ऑफ कोर्स अज्यूमिंग कि उसको री इन्वेस्ट वो
हाँ, मैं ये
उसको जो
भी
इन्वेस्ट करेंगे वो एक रीजनेबल रिटर्न अजम्पशन के साथ हम चल रहे हैं.
आई थिंक ये एक
हाँ.
बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ है, बिकॉज जितना मुझे समझ में आया अभी तक लोगों को ऐसा लगता था कि फायर, इफ आई एम सेइंग लेट्स से आई वांट टू रिटायर टुडे, हाउ मच कॉर्पस डू आई नीड इज लाइक माई कंजम्पशन कॉर्पस. मतलब मैं उसको पैसे को बैठ के सिर्फ कंज्यूम करती रहूंगी विदाउट इंश्योरिंग एनी ग्रोथ ऑफ दैट मनी.
सी, एक मेरा जो फंडामेंटल इससे डिफरेंस है, मतलब ठीक है एक्रोनिम्स भी हो सकते हैं, कुछ उनके डेफिनेशंस भी हो सकते हैं, जो भी हैं, लेकिन एक चीज़ जो मुझे लगता है कि और इसलिए हम हमारे कैलकुलेटर को हम रिटायरमेंट कैलकुलेटर नहीं बोलते, हम फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम कैलकुलेटर बोलते
गॉट
हैं.
इट.
कि रिटायरमेंट जो है ये एक पुराना कॉन्सेप्ट है कि जहाँ पे एक एज के बाद में लोग रिटायर होते थे बिकॉज ऑफ, ठीक है, उनका एक वर्किंग लाइफ थी, मेंटल फिजिकल फैकल्टीज आफ्टर अ पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम स्टार्ट गेटिंग अफेक्टेड, उसके लिए वो रिटायर हो रहे थे. आज की तारीख में जो लोग सोच रहे हैं कि मैं रिटायर हो जाऊंगा, वो रिटायर होने का सोच रहे हैं या उनको फाइनेंशियली फ्री होना है. मतलब ऐसा तो नहीं है कि हाँ 40 साल की उम्र में आप कुछ नहीं करने वाले हो, बस
No, but they
आप
want
कंज्यूम
to
करोगे खाली.
they want to enjoy life,
हाँ.
and therefore
But
assuming
see,
that if
enjoy
I
life means what?
no
Enjoy
assuming
life
that I
means
don't
what?
have to work, if I don't have to work for money, then what?
No, you don't have to work for money. But see, when people say enjoy life, what will you do? Like, okay, you will go to travel the world. How much? You will travel for 30 days, 60 days.
Dream तो यही है सबका.
हाँ, 30 days, 60 days, maybe 300 days. After that, some point of time, you will want to do something which is gainful, which is productive, but which you enjoy also.
Yeah.
Right? So, I think very rare case might be there where people are not going to do anything which is gainfully, employing them.
Yeah.
They will do.
Yeah.
They will earn also, right, out of that. Because especially if you're doing something which you're enjoying, maybe the results might take time, right? But eventually they will show in terms of monetary outcomes also, right? So, having said that, of course, you don't want to figure that in the calculation, because that is the whole idea that आपको फाइनेंशियली फ्री होना है, कि आपको पैसे के बारे में नहीं सोचना है, आपको जो आपको पसंद है वो करना है. लेकिन उसमें ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट है रिटायरमेंट वाला, वो मुझे थोड़ा सा हजम नहीं होता.
Got it.
People will figure out things which they like to do and which will help them earn also at some point of time. हाँ, बस वो प्रेशर नहीं रहेगा दिमाग पे कि हाँ मुझे पैसे के लिए कुछ करना पड़ेगा, वो प्रेशर नहीं रहेगा. लेकिन लोग कुछ ना कुछ करेंगे जिससे उनको मॉनेटरी आउटकम भी मिलेंगे.
So, I mean, I am very eager to jump onto the calculator, but मैं एक बार वो concept थोड़ा और explain करना, मतलब I want you to explain that. So let's say I am saying that I want to retire at the age of 45, and the calculator shows us
Can
that,
we say financially free at age 45?
okay, I want to become financially free at the age of 45, and the calculator says that I need, for example, a corpus of 6 crores. What does this mean? That from that day, even if I don't earn any money, 6 crores, so out of that 6 crores again, how much should I be deploying towards investments? And is it that okay, I just take out what I need for my sustenance and rest should be deployed effectively? Does that mean that?
सी अगर आपको 45 की एज पे रिटायर होना है तो एंड करंट एज सपोज आपकी 30s में है तो उस पीरियड में आपकी क्या इनकम होगी उसको भी फैक्टर करना पड़ेगा, उसको आप कैसे इन्वेस्ट करोगे, उस पर क्या रिटर्न बनेगा, उसको भी फैक्टर करना पड़ेगा। एंड उसके बाद 45 के एज पे अगर आप एक रीजनेबली रिस्क एडजस्टेड वे में आप इन्वेस्ट करोगे जहाँ पे एक 3-4% का आप रियल रिटर्न जनरेट करोगे, मान लीजिए इन्फ्लेशन 7-8% है और आप 11-12% रिटर्न आप जनरेट कर रहे हो फॉर द रेस्ट ऑफ द लाइफ, तो ये सारे एजम्पशंस के बेसिस पे एक नंबर आप कैलकुलेट कर सकते हो कि ठीक है आपको इतना नंबर चाहिए। आपके केस में हो सकता है 6 करोड़ हो, 8 करोड़ हो, जो भी नंबर है, लेकिन हाँ ये एजम्पशंस चेंज हो सकते हैं। तो
पर मुझे उस कॉर्पस में से यूज भी तो करना पड़ेगा, राइट?
तो उस कॉर्पस में से जो आप यूज करोगे सब एक साथ तो यूज नहीं करोगे आप।
हाँ.
तो इनिशियल जो ईयर्स होगा उसके लिए आपको कुछ सेफर इंस्ट्रूमेंट में रखना पड़ेगा कि जहाँ पे वोलेटिलिटी नहीं हो और आपको जब पैसा चाहिए जितना चाहिए आप वो निकाल सको उस समय। लेकिन जो फ्यूचर ईयर्स के लिए चाहिए, जो इमीडिएटली नहीं चाहिए, वो तो आप हाई यील्डिंग एसेट्स में ही रखोगे।
Got it.
जिस पे ज्यादा बेहतर रिटर्न बन सके।
So it is important कि वो कॉर्पस भी सही तरीके से डिप्लॉय हो।
लेकिन हैविंग सेड दैट अगर कोई ज्यादा रिस्क अवर्स है, वो चाहते हैं कि हम ज्यादा सेफर इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स में रखें, तो कैलकुलेशन उस हिसाब से भी किया जा सकता है। बस आपका कॉर्पस बढ़ जाएगा, शायद आपको 6-8 की जगह शायद 10-12 रखना पड़ेगा। फिर आप उसको भले एक फिक्स इनकम इंस्ट्रूमेंट में रख दो जिसपे एक आपको इन्फ्लेशन कवर होने जितना रिटर्न शायद मिल जाए वैसे इंस्ट्रूमेंट में।
ठीक है, अंडरस्टूड। Now let's jump onto the calculator. So we will discuss different people at different age group. उनको कितने कॉर्पस की ज़रूरत है to become financially free at a certain age. We'll just take random examples and as you said, we will put this Excel sheet का link in the description. It's free of cost for people to use.
Yes.
कुछ भी नहीं करना उनको.
नहीं.
They can just download a version of it and use it.
Yes.
Correct? ठीक है, let's just go through it. Okay, so we'll take one case where let's say we'll address somebody who's in their 20s, maybe 25 का age ले सकते हैं, and assume they're living in Bangalore and they're earning maybe 18 lakhs, like 1.5 lakhs per month. So 18 lakhs in hand income है उनकी. For this person, if they want to retire at 45, so how much money do they need? And we'll assume कि उनके और कोई expenses नहीं है. Maybe they want to buy a car. We'll keep only at that, or maybe one house also will include that. So
हाँ, so 25 एज है, 45 पे रिटायर होना है.
हाँ.
करंट इनकम 18 lakhs पर एनम है. एंड उनका एक्सपेंस कितना?
Yeah, 1 lakh के around. That's the realistic number today.
So हम 12 lakhs इसमें ले लेते हैं.
Okay.
और फिर जो सेविंग हो गई उनकी 6 लाख रुपए.
हाँ.
एंड उनका एनुअल इंक्रीमेंट हम ले लेते हैं 7%.
So that's salary increment.
Salary increment.
Okay. Let's assume that they have zero. अच्छा, they have one goal we are keeping of buying a car of 14 lakhs rupees.
हाँ.
ठीक है. अगर उनको सिर्फ एक कार खरीदनी है, उनकी 45 तक और कोई expenses नहीं है. Okay, what is the inflation that we have considered?
इन्फ्लेशन हम ले रहे हैं 6% अभी. 8% ले रहे हैं एक्चुअली एक्यूमुलेशन फेज में, और रिटायरमेंट फेज में हमने 6% लिया है.
Okay, so which means कि next 20 years for this person 8% पे उनका इन्फ्लेशन हो रहा है, उनके एक्सपेंसेस बढ़ रहे हैं, and at 7% the salary is increasing.
Right.
Okay. And what is the investment amount that we have? What is the investment return?
इन्वेस्टमेंट रिटर्न हमने लिया है 12% पोस्ट टैक्स.
Okay, post tax.
हाँ.
ठीक है. So how much do they need at the age of 45?
So at the age of 45 उनको जो रिक्वायरमेंट होगी उस समय that would be roughly 13 crores. लेकिन हाँ ये
But we have also assumed that they are going to live until 80, like we hope that they live longer, but 80 is the age we have considered.
But remember ये 20 साल बाद का अमाउंट हम देख रहे हैं.
At the age of 45 they should have 13 crores.
लेकिन अगर आज की तारीख में अगर हम देखेंगे तो मे बी अराउंड 4-5 crores would be enough for this person.
So if they
From a
had
corpus point
5
of view,
crores today,
Again, assuming कि उसको हम एक 12% रिटर्न में इन्वेस्ट करते
Okay.
रहेंगे.
so if they have a corpus of
हाँ.
5 crores today,
हाँ.
and they are investing, deploying that money in a balanced investment of 12% post tax, maintaining their expenses, not increasing the
हाँ.
expenses, then with 5 crores also somebody can retire today. And if they want to retire at the
This
age
is
of
for the single individual.
single individual,
Right,
yes.
because but again reality में ऐसा होता नहीं है.
Correct.
Life
So
changes, people get
life
married.
will change. So let's
you
assume
have
उनको
kids and all.
एक घर खरीदना है
हाँ.
in this corpus only 45 only we will keep.
हाँ.
उनको एक घर भी खरीदना मान लो 2 करोड़ का. We
हाँ.
can factor that also in here. I can see.
Yes, we can factor that in the calculation.
This will be अच्छा 2645 होगा, right?
हाँ, तो करंट मान लीजिए अगर उनको 5-7 साल में घर लेना है तो रफली अराउंड 6 करोड़ जैसा एक अमाउंट आज की तारीख में कॉर्पस में चाहिए होगा.
Got it.
हाँ. तो बेस्ड ऑन वेरियस लाइफ इवेंट्स ये नंबर चेंज होता रहेगा. एंड ये कंटिन्यूस एक्सरसाइज है. इसको ऐसा नहीं कि आपने एक बार कर लिया तो बस हो गया. क्योंकि बहुत सी चीज़ें होती है जो आप एंटिसिपेट नहीं कर सकते हैं. राइट, आपके पर्सनल लाइफ में, प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में. राइट, प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में भी चीज़ें चेंज हो जाती है. आपको कोई अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल जाती है. थिंग्स कैन चेंज.
Okay, let's then assume that this person 25 instead of so as he's growing in his life, at the age of 35 this person is thinking now, okay, at how much money do I need to retire? So at 35 he may be having more expenses, maybe some EMIs, so we'll consider all of that. So if somebody is today 35, they have maybe a salary of 40 lakhs or like let's assume 3 lakh a month they're earning.
Around 40, so 3.5 lakhs.
3.5 lakhs a month they're earning, household income, and they have a wife, children, so they have expenses of maybe 1.5 lakhs a month.
Yeah, 1.5 to 2 lakhs in
2
the
lakhs in a
would be
2 lakhs के around EMIs वगैरह सब consider करके. So अगर 2 लाख का expense है, so and again they want to retire at the age of 45.
So if you include some discretionary expenditures, everything, you can maybe say 3 lakhs kind of expenditure would be there. And
what do you mean by discretionary here? If they're earning,
say travel and some other things.
Okay.
So maybe roughly 2.5-3 lakhs आप पकड़ सकते हो उनका खर्चा जो है monthly. And then say today. Again, based on the similar return assumptions of about 12% post-tax, inflation assumptions of about 6%, life expectancy 75, the corpus required today would be roughly around 8 crores.
Okay.
तो आज की तारीख में अगर उनके पास 8 करोड़ है तो वो रिटायर हो सकते हैं कंफर्टेबली. अगेन बेस्ड ऑन द assumption कि उसको एक सही तरीके से निवेश किया जाएगा जहाँ पे उनको एक डिसेंट रिटर्न मिलता रहे. नॉट वेरी रिस्की, लेकिन नॉट लाइक कि अब बैंक में पैसा रख के आप नहीं कर रिटायर हो सकते. अगर अब वैसा करना चाहोगे तो शायद आपको 12 करोड़ चाहिए होंगे आज की तारीख में.
See, what I'm seeing in this calculator is just like you just have to edit it based on your current life reality. जैसे कि अगर हमने salary increment 10% assume किया है, if salary increment becomes 15% year on year या फिर on an average,
तो आपका रिक्वायरमेंट जल्दी मीट हो जाएगा. या आपको आज जो नंबर चाहिए वो आप कम पकड़ सकते हो फिर.
Right. So, I mean, for most people, I'm assuming they don't have the corpus even to have this conversation. But everybody aspires to achieve financial freedom as soon as possible. So, if somebody is of 35 years of age and following this condition, at what age can they become financially free? I can figure that out also, I'm seeing here.
Yeah, you can figure out, or what you can do is if you can do the working this way as well कि आपको 45 की एज में रिटायर होना है.
हाँ.
तो आप यहाँ पे कैलकुलेटर में आप डाल सकते हो कि आपको इस एज पे रिटायर होना है.
Got it.
उस एज पे आपके पास जो फंड्स होंगे.
So it is telling me that how much money do I need at the age of 45
आपको about 13 crores चाहिए होगा इस पर्टिकुलर एग्जांपल में.
And it is also telling me with my current saving.
13 crores is at that point of time, 10 years later.
Correct. It is also telling me that with the current saving pattern, how much money will I actually have at that age?
Right. वो भी इसमें आप देख पा रहे हो. तो इसमें अभी आप देख रहे हो कि actually at that age you will be having a shortfall of about 4 crores.
But I'll still have 8 crores. I mean, to me,
Huh.
because this number is a huge relief. I'll tell you why. Because most people, when I think of, let's say, my future, I'm not able to imagine also that मेरे पास 8 crore का corpus होगा by the time I turn 45. Let's say I'm falling in this bracket or whatever, right? So
राइट, इसमें एक स्टार्टिंग कॉर्पस भी हमने लिया है कि अराउंड 2 करोड़ उनके पास
so
सेविंग
they
ऑलरेडी
have
है.
saved 2 crores.
तो
Can we assume that they have
और
zero?
प्लस फर्दर जो सेविंग्स हो रही है उसके हिसाब से
वो कहाँ पर है? 2 crores का कहाँ पे
ये
है?
यहाँ पे हमने दिखाया हुआ है स्टार्टिंग कॉर्पस
So
जो है 2
let's
crores
assume that they have zero savings today. They have zero savings today, and they want to retire at 45.
हाँ.
So
So there will be a huge shortfall.
So they can't
based on the
retire
current
it?
saving pattern. So now what they need to do is either they need to save more or earn more. I mean effectively save more ही करना है. अब सेव मोर के लिए या तो आप खर्चा कम करो या इनकम बढ़ाओ, दो में से एक चीज करनी है.
Got it.
तो आपको सेविंग बढ़ानी पड़ेगी. इन्वेस्टमेंट हमने थोड़ा कंजर्वेटिव लिया हुआ है. हो सकता है इनके रिस्क प्रोफाइल के हिसाब से 35 एज है एंड बाकी जो भी इनकी रिस्क प्रोफाइलिंग अगर आती है कि ग्रोथ प्रोफाइल है या एग्रेसिव प्रोफाइल अगर आता है रिस्क प्रोफाइल, हो सकता है इन्वेस्टमेंट रिटर्न भी जो हमने एज्यूम किया है इंस्टेड ऑफ 11% मे बी वी कैन टेक 13-14% ऑल्सो, which is again not like chasing too much of risk, but by investing better with proper advice, that is something which is possible.
Got it.
In a country like India which is growing well, एक 13-14% reasonable return possible हो सकता है. तो ये again the way to use this calculator would be not to just have a single point outcome, but to have a range of outcomes, looking at different assumptions.
Got it.
कि अगर हाँ इतना रिटर्न होगा तो इतना समय लगेगा, इतना रिटर्न होगा तो इतना समय लगेगा, तो उससे आपको एक ब्रॉड अंदाजा मिल जाएगा कि हाँ ठीक है आपको कितना चाहिए 45 की एज में. शायद आपको एक 10 से
रियलिटी चेक
हाँ हर साल आपको करते रहना है,
कितना करना है.
एवरी ईयर दिस एक्सरसाइज हैज टू बी डन. और अगर आपके लाइफ इवेंट्स कुछ हो रहे हैं ऐसे तो जिसकी वजह से आपको शायद 1 साल के पहले भी आपको एक इसको रिव्यू करना पड़े, राइट. कोई मैरिज हो रहा है, किसी को बच्चा हो रहा है, कुछ प्रोफेशनल करियर में मेजर चेंजेस आ रहे हैं, तो तब भी इसको रिव्यू करना जरूरी है.
Got it.
इसमें फिर आपको एक जैसे इनके केस में मान लीजिए एक 13 करोड़ का हम जो नंबर देख रहे थे, एक्चुअली हो सकता है कि शायद एक्चुअली 13 ना हो, समवेयर बिटवीन 12 to 15 हो, डिपेंडिंग ऑन वेरियस
future expenses that may come up, big expenses,
possibilities or assumptions. नाउ जो शॉर्टफॉल है वो भी हो सकता है कि जो हमें लग रहा है इतना ज्यादा शॉर्टफॉल है वो ना हो, क्योंकि अगर इसको बेटर इन्वेस्ट किया जा रहा है,
better invest their income में increase, saving में
increase हो रहा है, तो भी वो चेंज हो सकता है. तो इसके लिए एक रेंज ऑफ आउटकम्स हमें देखना पड़ेगा एंड फिर उसके हिसाब से डिसीजन लेना पड़ेगा कि हाँ हमें किस पे फोकस ज़्यादा करना है. सेविंग पे अगर फोकस करना है या फिर हमें जो एज है फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम की उसको पुश आउट करना है, क्योंकि लाइफस्टाइल चेंज करना इजी नहीं होता.
करेक्ट.
राइट, यू आर यूज्ड टू अ सर्टेन लाइफस्टाइल, उसको कम करना इज डिफिकल्ट. हाँ कुछ चीज़ें हैं जो आपको पता है फ्रिंज पे आप कर रहे हो जो शायद आपको चाहिए भी नहीं, लेकिन आप कर रहे हो क्योंकि somebody is काइंड ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंसिंग यू, वो आप कट कर लोगे, लेकिन सिग्निफिकेंट आप कट डाउन नहीं कर पाओगे. हाँ दूसरा रहा सवाल इनकम बढ़ाने का. अगेन उसके लिए आप कर सकते हो कि बहुत से लोग करते भी हैं, जैसे किसी ने इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ी है, 8-10 साल काम किया, लेकिन फिर उन्होंने एग्जीक्यूटिव MBA कर लिया, तो उनका एक शिफ्ट आ गया करियर में, इनकम में शिफ्ट आ गया. तो वो सब चीज़ें की जा सकती है, लेकिन अगेन नॉट इजी, राइट. तो देन द थर्ड लीवर विच रिमेन्स इज द इन्वेस्टमेंट. तो वो जो है वो ज़्यादा कंट्रोलेबल है अगर आप एक अच्छे एडवाइज़र के पास पहुंच जाते हो, अच्छे एक्सपर्ट के पास पहुंच जाते हो, तो एटलीस्ट, क्योंकि बहुत से केसेस में, मैक्सिमम केसेस में मैंने जो देखा है वो यही है कि लोगों का फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग और इन्वेस्टमेंट एसेट एलोकेशन जो है वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा हिला हुआ होता है.
ओके.
तो उसको चेंज करके ही काफ़ी सिग्निफिकेंट इम्प्रूवमेंट लाया जा सकता है, क्योंकि आज की तारीख में अगर कोई 50% फिक्स इनकम में इन्वेस्ट करके बैठा है, जबकि उसको ज़रूरत नहीं है उसकी, बेस्ड ऑन देयर रिस्क प्रोफाइल और बेस्ड ऑन देयर गोल्स, टाइम होराइजन एटसेट्रा, मे बी 10% is enough in fixed income. So the remaining can be moved to equity. So that can bring a sea change to the इन्वेस्टमेंट आउटकम ऑफ द फ्यूचर, राइट?
Hmm.
तो वही है, ये सारे अलग अलग लीवर्स हैं.
So there are two kinds of people, at least
Hmm.
that I have met. One set which is very conservative, as you're saying, and they've put more money in fixed assets. The other is too not aggressive. Also, they just have this notion that investing is supposed to be like very glamorous, and like there are many people when I ask them कि आप invest करते हो क्या? हाँ हम करते हैं इन्वेस्ट एंड इन माय लास्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट दैट आई डिड मैंने स्टॉक में पैसे डाले या जो भी किया आई गॉट अ रिटर्न ऑफ एक्स लैक्स दिल से कि मेरे को ऐसे 2 लाख का रिटर्न आया एंड दे से इट विद सो मच प्राइड कि आई नो हाउ टू इन्वेस्ट बिकॉज आई टुक दैट स्मॉल अमाउंट अब मैं आई एम वेटिंग ऑन इट अब मैं अगली बार फिर से करूँगा बट दे नॉट रियली इन्वेस्टिंग रेगुलरली
राइट. तो अगर अभी मान लीजिए जैसे हम देख रहे थे इनका, अगर स्टार्टिंग कॉर्पस हमने देखा इनिशियली एग्जांपल में कि 2 करोड़ है.
हाँ
अब वो 2 करोड़ में से अगर उन्होंने 5 लाख 10 लाख इक्विटी में डाला है, जो कि रियलिटी में मैं देखता हूँ कुछ हमारे
अच्छा.
क्लाइंट्स के साथ में कि 5% इक्विटी में है, नाउ
Okay.
दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू मूव द नीडल, राइट? क्योंकि वो आपने थ्रिल आ गया आपको कि आपने इसमें डाला वो डबल हो गया, लेकिन इट इज नॉट मूविंग द नीडल फॉर यू, वो आपके नेटवर्क में कुछ चेंज नहीं ला रहा है. तो दैट इज वेयर द रोल ऑफ एन एडवाइजर, राइट, टू इम्प्रूव दैट एसेट एलोकेशन. और जो कि हमने किया है कई क्लाइंट्स के केस में कि जहाँ पे एक्चुअल में उनका 50% एलोकेशन होना चाहिए था, लेकिन वो 5-10% लेके बैठे थे, हमने उसको शिफ्ट करवाया एंड दैट हैज हैड अ इफेक्ट आल्सो इन टर्म्स ऑफ इम्प्रूविंग आउटकम्स फॉर देम. नाउ और एक चीज़ जो है ये मैं बताना चाहूँगा कि बहुत लोगों को ऐसा लगता है कि हाँ हम कर रहे हैं, स्पेशली पिछले कुछ सालों में मार्केट एक ही डायरेक्शन में गया है, तो उनको लगता है कि हमें सब कुछ पता है. लेकिन मैं यही कहना चाहूँगा कि मैं पिछले 25 साल से इस फील्ड में हूँ, इनिशियली आउट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, देन आउट ऑफ स्टडी एंड देन आउट ऑफ रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ अ जॉब, एंड नाउ एज अ स्टार्टअप दैट इज व्हाट वी आर इनटू फुल टाइम. एंड इन टर्म्स ऑफ क्वालिफिकेशन, ठीक है, मैंने CA किया, MBA किया और CFA किया, जो भी रिलेवेंट क्वालिफिकेशंस हैं. एक्सपीरियंस भी है इन अ कंपनी लाइक गोल्डमैन सैक्स, जहाँ पे आई वुड से द थिंग्स वुड बी वन ऑफ द मोस्ट रिफाइंड सिस्टम्स वुड बी देयर. उसके बाद भी मैं ये नहीं कह सकता कि अगर मैं समय नहीं दूँ तो भी मैं आउटकम ले आऊँगा.
Okay.
इतना सब कुछ होने के बाद भी आज भी मुझे टाइम देना है. आज मैं और मेरी टीम फुल टाइम इसमें लगे हुए हैं. सो इट्स अ फुल टाइम एक्टिविटी. इन्वेस्टिंग इज अ फुल टाइम एक्टिविटी. किसी को लगता है कि हाँ ये बस पार्ट टाइम 2 घंटे करके हो जाएगा, तो वो शायद जो आउटकम आपको मिल रहा है मोस्ट लाइकली लक से मिल रहा है.
Okay.
देन बिकॉज ऑफ एनी फ्रेमवर्क और डिसिप्लिन और a continuous process. So what is important is to have a framework and discipline and risk management and continuously monitoring things. It's a dynamic thing. आप उसको एक्सट्रापोलेट नहीं कर सकते. तो वो चीज़ मेरे ख्याल से लोगों को समझने की ज़रूरत है कि इट्स अ कंटिन्यूस फुल टाइम एक्टिविटी. इन्वेस्टिंग इज नॉट अ पार्ट टाइम थिंग. When you are doing it part time, most likely you are speculating. Sometimes you get lucky.
Got it. Also, a lot of people just start SIPs, and I'm also one of those people जिनके ज़्यादातर corpus is in SIPs, right? SIP से ये financial freedom achieve की जा सकती है?
See, SIP is just a way of investing in a systematic manner. Ultimately, SIP आप किस में कर रहे हो वो मैटर करता है. आप अगर एक डेट इंस्ट्रूमेंट में कर रहे हो या इक्विटी में कर रहे हो, हाइब्रिड में कर रहे हो, दैट विल डिफाइन द आउटकम्स फॉर द फ्यूचर. तो अगर आप लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, आपके लॉन्ग टर्म गोल्स के लिए कर रहे हो, तो आपको इक्विटी में SIP करना पड़ेगा. तो म्यूचुअल फंड इज जस्ट अ वे टू पार्टिसिपेट इन द मार्केट्स एंड SIP इज जस्ट अ मोड ऑफ इन्वेस्टिंग इन म्यूचुअल फंड्स.
Right.
इट इज़ नॉट लाइक कि हाँ आप SIP करो या नहीं करो उससे कुछ फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. आप किस में SIP कर रहे हो और कब तक कर रहे हो, कितना कंटिन्यूसली आप कर रहे हो, दैट विल डिफाइन द आउटकम मोर देन just the mode of investing, whether it is SIP or
Got it. And a lot of times again people have this fear, right, कि मतलब स्टॉक मार्केट में पैसे डूब जाएंगे या फिर ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस कि अब इन्वेस्ट किया है तो मतलब बहुत सारा रिटर्न आना चाहिए. एंड ऑफ कोर्स आपके साथ मैंने काम किया पिछले 4 साल, देन 1 more year अगेन इन द सेम फील्ड, राइट? एटलीस्ट फ्रॉम अ वेरी even though I'm not an expert, but what I've observed is a lot of people, as soon as they come to an advisor or start using a tool of investing tool, unless they are खुद से कर रहे हैं तो there is no expectation of a result, but as soon as they start using a tool or an
Right.
expert, the expectation is कि अब तो बहुत सारा रिटर्न आना चाहिए, right? And if I'm
हाँ.
not earning like a 50% return, then what am I
राइट
earning?
तो यहाँ पे वही अगेन क्वेश्चन आ जाता है अवेयरनेस का
हम्म
कि लोगों को आज के टाइम में अवेयरनेस नहीं है कि किस चीज़ के लिए क्या सूटेबल है
हम्म
और ऑल्सो ये चीज़ समझना बहुत जरूरी है कि इक्विटी मार्केट्स जो हैं वो एक लीनियर वे में नहीं चलते, दे आर नॉन लीनियर, कभी ऊपर भी जाएंगे नीचे भी जाएंगे, कभी 50% ऊपर होगा, कभी 10% 20% नीचे भी होगा मार्केट। तो ठीक है, लोगों को एक्सपीरियंस जैसे जैसे होगा, क्योंकि बहुत से लोग तो अभी आए हैं पिछले 5 साल में, तो जैसे वो 1-2 साइकिल देखेंगे वो समझने लगेंगे।
कितना रिटर्न अच्छा रिटर्न होता है, मतलब इन अ लॉन्ग टर्म, लेट्स से इफ आई एम कंसीडरिंग हॉरिजॉन्टल ऑफ 15
पिछले 25 साल में इंडिया में इक्विटी में 15% जैसा रिटर्न बना है।
इज इट अ गुड रिटर्न टू हैव?
इट्स say what is the definition of good, I don't know, but
नहीं,
it's
मतलब
a
कुछ लोग
reasonable
बोलते हैं ना कि
return, I
मैंने
would say.
जैसे 40% भी बना लिया, अब एक्सपेक्टेशन तो वही है ना
हाँ.
कि आई शुड मेक 40%, बट आई एम मेकिंग 15 ओनली,
हाँ.
सो 15% return, is it good for me
So
to
15
achieve financial
say
freedom?
15 to 20% return is a very good return,
Okay.
because that is a real return of about 7-8% to 10-12% which you are making,
Okay.
right? So you are actually growing your wealth, not just covering inflation to preserve your capital, but you are actually growing your wealth.
Okay. What I am taking away from this conversation is that this mindset shift in terms of how much I need to save, reality check, this financial calculator is a great tool to do that, and then knowing what to expect also. So somebody can use this tool and say कि मेरे को तो 40% return चाहिए, या मेरे को उतना ही, I need that much and I can achieve it soon,
हाँ,
and a lot of
इसमें
people
जो
are promoting
assumptions हैं,
that.
इसमें जो assumptions हैं obviously realistic होनी चाहिए, that is based on of course our understanding, our study of past data, future expectation of the economy and markets, everything. तो realistic assumption तो लेना ही पड़ेगा।
Got it. तो आई थिंक मेरा जो गोल था इस पूरे कॉन्वर्सेशन का, विच वॉज कि फाइनेंशियल रीसेट में कैन वी हेल्प पीपल, ये टूल इन इटसेल्फ कैन बी अ वेरी गुड स्टार्ट फॉर एवरीबडी टू डू दैट, एंड देन all the things that you mentioned about the change in the mindset of how you are perceiving your financial freedom and financial security, I think that is again a very important aspect.
Yeah. एंड जस्ट टेक वन स्टेप एट अ टाइम, मतलब सब कुछ एक साथ नहीं होगा, बट धीरे धीरे कहीं ना कहीं शुरुआत करेंगे, स्टेप बाय स्टेप तो चीज़ें होती जाएगी।
Great. So it was a great conversation, Vikas, and I really hope that people find value in what we are this conversation and what you have built.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Misha.
you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.